Uh, this is the Lakers Fast Break. This is Lakers Nightcap with Joe Soro. This is Joe Soro. How are you? How's it going? Thanks for joining us again. It is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly glad to have you here. Cannot thank you enough for joining us. It is Joe Soro. Thanks for joining us here at the Lakers Nightcap. Gonna have me one. Yep. Cheers. There you go. All right. All right. Lakers lose tonight. 114 to 106. This is Joe Soro. That Gerald guy, he's really smart and he's really good too. Yeah, he's terrific. Absolutely. Yes, running this channel. Yes, absolutely. Just kidding. It is Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much for watching, listening. Truly appreciate. Is Raging Bull good? Yes, cool, bro. It's one of the definitive movies of the 1980s. The camera work in that movie, especially inside the boxing ring, is outstanding. Gerald off on the wagon. Yes, there you go, Darren. Thank you again for the super chat, Darren. It is truly appreciated. I'm wishing you continually all the best. You were watching and listening to us on the road, and I truly cannot thank you enough for doing so. Darvin, you want to tell us something? Go ahead, tell it right there in the chat. The best Lakers chat room that's out there. Yeah. Actually, I think Joe did a better impersonation of me than I did of him. I'm going to give him credit on that. I really think he did a better job on that. So, I'm going to be humble and I'm going to say he stepped up to the plate better than I did. But it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Lakers Nightcap with Joe Soro. I'm standing in for him for a little while he goes ahead and takes care of some things here. I guess he had a important Sinblades with a Y.com phone call. Cool Bro is the evaluator. There you go. Gerald, will Joe say not to watch Raging Bull? You know what? It does deal with domestic violence issues, cool, bro. So I would ask your mom and dad before you watched it, because it does deal with husband-wife marital relations as far as domestic violence. So before you go and watch it, I would ask them their opinions about it. Sit down with them. That would be my suggestion, because it is disturbing to some in regards to that, because it tries to resemble the life of Jake LaMotta, and I'll just leave it at that. So yeah. But it is the Lakers Fast Break. Joe would like Raging Bull. Yeah, I think he has probably seen it, and I would say he probably likes it. So that would be my guess. But I want to go ahead and say thank you for joining us after a full day of Lakers Fast Break programming, from of course, the trade deadline to Kobe unveiling the statue for the Kobe statue that was unveiled earlier today. So yes, absolutely. And then, of course, our entire game coverage. Darvin Ham says the reason why we lose every game is we want to be the underdogs. We want to make history. We want to shock the world. We're going to make some noise in the playoffs. Mark his words. Well, you know what? Last year you did. We did mark your words, and you did actually have a good run throughout the playoffs. Not good enough, but it was a pretty good run in the playoffs for at least the first two rounds. So let's hope history will repeat itself and go even further this time around. Joe be here soon. I don't know, cool bro. It was an important phone call. You saw me at the end of the show. I took his call. He said it was a really important call. I'm assuming it's Simblades related, so I got to respect his wishes on that. That is his company. That is how he earns a living. So definitely got to go ahead and take care of what he needs to take care of. So he will hopefully be here shortly. But it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Cannot thank you enough for joining us. It is Gerald Glassford. I was hoping also to get on my good friend Chris Sardieri from the Domination Sports Nation, so he could talk some football on today's show, because I know that the Super Bowl here in Las Vegas, I just drove by the stadium again. And yes, to Kurt Affair's question, I did drive by the Hustler Bar again. No, did not go inside and see any Swifties. I was driving too fast on the I-15 to do that. But yes, it is getting prepared. Traffic is a little bit heavier. You could tell that people are starting to matriculate into Las Vegas for the big game. So definitely looking forward to seeing it. I'm going to go. I know that there's a Paramount display, so I was asked to go this weekend to go check it out. It's probably the closest I'll get, or what I did today in driving by the Allegiant Stadium for the Super Bowl. But Darvin Ham says you should change the title to Gerald Soro. No, it's usually Joe's show, so he has gotten drunk on the show before, so I'll allow him to do it. Sean says Joe has a business. I thought he was paid to drink. He was paid well the other night by Intel and Darren. So it was greatly appreciated, by the way, when he did that. Bloodhound says, Gerald, you hear about the guy who illegally climbed the sphere? Yeah, I saw the footage. Um, he has done this before with other buildings around the world, including Las Vegas, and he was he knows the deal. He knows he's going to get arrested, so he got arrested, and obviously he has a good lawyer, or good way to bail himself pretty out pretty easily, and pays the fines, and does this all the time. So this is something he's quite used to. I love the Sphere. You know what? I know that it might be a money loser, for James Dolan, but I absolutely love the Sphere. I think it's fantastic. Our entire family just absolutely loves the Sphere. We can see it. You can see it from almost anywhere in Las Vegas, and it is absolutely a fantastic thing. I think it's just brilliant. But of course, again, it is a money loser first and foremost. Remember, they were planning a larger one, an even larger one in London, and have scrapped plans for doing that as of this time. Gerald, what's Darren talking about an elevator? I don't know what you're referring to about an elevator in regards to that. I'm looking on that. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about on the wagon? Cool, bro. Because if it's you talk about the wagon, that's just on and off the wagon means off the wagon means you're back drinking like an alcoholic again. So evaluate. Evaluate. Okay. All right. But there you go. That's the word he was trying to say. Cool, bro. Evaluate, not elevator. Bloodhound said it looks like the Death Star. That's the only thing people have been asking for that they haven't done yet. So I'm assuming Disney, if they do get their act together as far as wanting to use it as a PR, because that's how they make a lot of their money, everyone. They put advertisements and make it like a round billboard at times, just putting advertisements on it. And one of the ways they do that, hopefully down the road, is make it into a Death Star. I think they haven't put it yet, and I know a lot of people have been asking for it, is because of the fact that because of course Lucasfilm and copyright. But I have a feeling when that Star Wars movie comes out, hopefully by the end of next year, you'll probably see some, So here he is, the man himself. Again, he is here. Finish doing Sin Blades things. It is Joe Soro. Joe.
No. I got some good news.
Okay.
I got some really good news. Guess who's coming to Vegas?
Who
this
is
weekend?
Coming? You? You've got tickets for the game?
No. I
thought you hated Vegas.
I got something bigger.
Okay.
And it revolves around the Corrupt game.
Okay, absolutely.
Yes. So, Gerald, you're going to see me finally in the flesh here in a couple days.
Oh, my God. I am a Roman Catholic, but I'm usually not that devout. But this time I will be devout now. Lord, please help me.
Folks, some things are coming here, and they're getting very close. And you're going to be able to say one day that you were at the beginning of this. So feel privileged at this moment.
Jeeves, are you saying like a priest, like in, let the power of Christ compel you. The power of Christ compels you.
I wouldn't say I'm going to be spitting vomit and turning my head, 360. But
okay.
I was pretty close. Yeah. By the way, one of the funniest sound for me in the world is a screaming cat.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
Not hurting a cat. I don't hurt animals like that, but just a screeching cat. It cracks me up every time I hear it.
Well, I was hoping our good friend Chris Sardieri would join us, but I don't think he's been able to. I don't think he's seen it as far as.
Well, isn't he in New York?
No, Chris Sardieri. No. I thought he was here. He said he was going to join us. Yeah, he lives near you. He lives in your. He lives
in San Diego, right?
Near there. I think he does live near there. But I do want to go ahead and talk a little bit about the Super Bowl, if I can, my friend. Sure. It is coming up, the big game here on Sunday. You and I have talked a lot about it, but I know to refresh people's memories out there, I want to hear your thoughts about, why you think Mahomes is just that guy. This is his chance to, like you say, get into that rarefied air. And I agree with you. I agree with you that, the San Francisco 49ers have to beat him more than he needs to beat the 49ers.
I'm going to use some examples of, let's say, Tom Brady's Super Bowls, right? So the 2 Super Bowls that Brady lost against the Giants were due to the fact that he didn't ever in any series not feel like he was comfortable for 4 quarters. It made a huge difference. If at any point in that game the Giants weren't aggressive and just kind of determined to get to him, and we're getting close and close and close, no matter what it was, they were just there all the time. Brady likely wins those Super Bowls without a problem. Now, the problem with Patrick Mahomes is he's mobile. So you're screwed that way too. So what do you do when you pressure Patrick Mahomes? We saw it in the Tampa Bay Super Bowl. The problem with that Super Bowl for Kansas City was half their offensive line was out from the AFC Championship game. So he didn't have any chance of doing anything. He was basically running for his life, and he was injured. So now you're telling me a freak of nature, which is what Patrick Mahomes is, who just slayed the best team in the NFL, which is just, always suspect on that comment, especially with Lamar Jackson as a quarterback, despite him winning his second MVP, which kind of starts showing how valid the MVPs were this year. This is the worst award. These were the worst awards I've ever seen in the NFL by far. I don't know what it was about the NFL wanting to give every award to the Cleveland Browns. Who the hell ran these campaigns? These is like Oscar-like campaigns. Stefanski's the coach of the year. Campbell should have been coach of the year. Myles Garrett, 1 sack. Myles Garrett the last 6 games over TJ Watt, who beat him in every statistical freaking category that an outsider, that an edge guy could have. And the fact that anytime he doesn't play, the Steelers lose because he's that valuable. How do you give it to Myles Garrett? So, anyways, Patrick Mahomes loses Ty Hill. He has third-rate receivers. And you have Travis Kelce, who's starting to decline. Still great, because that's what great players do. They can still muster a couple of games, which he has in the playoffs. But this guy in the Baltimore game, in the AFC title game, if you noticed, didn't risk the entire game, and he was still formidable. That's a scary player. It's a scary player. He waited and he waited and he waited. The game plan was great because they knew that Lamar Jackson can't throw vertical in big games consistently. It wasn't all his fault that they lost, but he can't just go back there and just for 3 or 4 series, maybe 1 series, if you're lucky to. But he's not that guy that can do 3, 4, 5 times like Patrick Mahomes does. And that was the eventual result is what you saw. So now you have the San Francisco 49ers, who have actually struggled the last 2 games. But despite their struggles, were able to get enough offense to combat it. You can't play defense the way they played the last 2 weeks against Kansas City and Mahomes. If you do, the Kansas City Chiefs will blow out the Niners, and they will not come back. So ball control, and honestly, Nick Bosa has to be the MVP of this game. If Nick Bosa is the MVP of this game, they're going to win this. They're going to win the Super Bowl, because that would mean he's in Patrick Mahomes' pocket the whole game. He's going to need a Von Miller Super Bowl 50 kind of performance.
That's a good question, Cool Bro. What is a good movie we don't want him watching? Well, he was talking about Raging Bull. I was telling him he needs to talk to his parents because of the domestic violence issues in that film. That's a good question.
You already saw Scarface. That's as bad as it gets for a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
That's not a NC-17 type.
No. That's probably what.
And I'm not going to mention any movies, because then you're going to go look at them and want to watch them.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Let's not perpetuate. Let's not get his parents mad. Last thing I want is an angry email from your parents, Cool Bro.
Yeah, and see, the thing is, Bloodhound, he does have good defense, right? So that's the funny part about this is the best the Chiefs defense in the Mahomes era it has been, right? Um, and really, it's very difficult to field a team with depth when you're paying your star player 50, 60 million a year. It's very difficult. So you got to get lucky. You got to have a little luck in terms of getting your certain draft picks that are formidable, that are going to be effective in their first 4 years of their rookie contract type things. And then if you can pick up a free agent that still has a lot left in them that can make a difference, that also helps too. But at this point, Patrick Mahomes already sealed his Hall of Fame first ballot Hall of Fame position last year. If he wins tonight or Sunday night, he will have won back-to-back Super Bowls. He will have won 3 Super Bowls in 7 years of playing as a starter. He will have been to 4 Super Bowls in 7 years. He is then now starting to creep up into the top 3 all time. He's in the top 3. It's Brady, Montana, and Patrick Mahomes.
Do you think he can eventually supersede Brady?
It's going to be hard, man. 7 Super Bowls is really hard. Because I think there's a possibility, it's small. There's a small possibility that Andy Reid retires after this year.
Been rumors of it.
Yeah. But maybe he sees a three-peat. I think, and I don't know Andy Reid's health situation. I would like to think that Andy Reid probably retires if they lose. If they win, they convince him to come back to see if they can do a three-peat.
I agree with you. I think it's on the table if they win.
Yeah. And the question there is, if Andy Reid retires, does Eric Bieniemy get the job?
That's so weird how he went from the hottest name out there, doesn't get an NFL coaching
It's not his
job,
fault, man.
and then gets fired.
First of all, he was at Washington. Washington is a dildo of an organization. Okay. The thing is, you saw what happened in training camp. What happened? What was the story that came out of the Washington training camp?
They didn't like his strict ways.
Oh, poor baby. He made somebody sad by yelling at them because they were sucking. Really? In football, you still have this? You have this in football? It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. However, Eric Bieniemy, should he be a candidate, if Andy Reid retires, he would be very successful in Kansas City as a head coach because Mahomes is his quarterback. And he'll fall in line with that discipline, just like Brady fell in line with the discipline of Bill Belichick. And as long as your number one guy puts up with that, everyone else will fall in line. And there's familiarity. That too. You have to. So the Kansas City Chiefs are in a very, very good position right now. Very good position. Should he retire, they can have a replacement that and wouldn't change anything because he knows the system. And I believe he'd have the respect of the Kansas City team anyways.
I agree with you there. I would give him that opportunity. That I would have given him the better opportunity last year, but that's just me as well. So
no, I see. The thing is, he had to leave to see if it wasn't Andy Reid. But the problem is, he went to the worst place. Like, Washington is just it's a dumpster fire.
Just took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not a good environment. It's just not good. It's been bad for so long. But I understood the point. You kind of understood. Well, he's going to go coach with Rod Rivera. If something happens with Ron during the year, you got somebody like Eric Bieniemy to take over and see how that kind of progresses. But I think Eric Bieniemy's best shot right now is if Andy Reid does retire. I think he goes to. I think there's a good chance he could go to Kansas City.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we have Mike Rabel. I don't think Belichick's going to go to Kansas City, though. I don't think they want him there. Mike Rabel or Eric Bieniemy at that point. And I had a little bit of an inkling that maybe that's why Mike Rabel didn't get hired, or maybe he didn't take a job, because that was really weird to me. He's a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew Harbaugh was going to end up in LA. That was a foregone conclusion. That made too much sense. Him and Herbert together, that's like Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes at that point. But Rabel was a surprise. I thought Rabel would go somewhere, maybe Atlanta or something like that. But then again, maybe
Pulp
he has
Fiction. Yep. Pulp Fiction. Sorry.
No.
Don't
Do not watch
that.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, there you go.
Please. No. Do not watch Pulp Fiction, please.
I will not recommend Pulp Fiction to a 15-year-old.
No. Hey, don't watch those movies, please. Wait till you're older.
You know he's going to do it anyways. What?
Well, we have it on tape that we're trying to tell him not to do it.
Yes, but we know what we did when he was his age, and I'll just leave it at that. I was a saint. I was an angel.
No. I didn't see Pulp Fiction when I was 15. Games.
Yeah, I was a little bit older then.
I was a little older.
Yes, same here. I was already in my 20s.
Yeah, Ty, I did hear that. That's probably one of the lamest things I ever heard. I just wish I knew who the GM was so I could scold him. That's pathetic. You want a stud like Mike Rabel. Mike Rabel looks like a god in person, by the way. He looks like a freaking man. You know, who do you want commanding your football team, you pussy? Sorry, G.
No worries. The reason why I'm asking you on as far as the game is concerned, because this is not the strongest Kansas City team that they fielded in their runs.
Mm-hmm.
This might be the weakest, but they've still were able to get here. That's the only reason why I'm thinking San Francisco 49ers might have a chance.
No. They have a chance, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
No, they have a chance. I'm not saying they don't. It's just a matter of Patrick Mahomes. It's Patrick Mahomes. And Super Bowl 53, the Patriots versus the Rams. That Patriots team was the worst Patriots team of their Super Bowl teams. And they played it safe. Belichick had his greatest coaching performance, in my opinion, even more than the first Rams one in a lot of ways. I mean, I mean, you could argue either or, but I just thought that it was a complete shutdown. I felt from the first couple series that the Rams were not going to score that day, and they didn't. They scored a field goal, and their team. It was a late touchdown, real late touchdown by the Patriots to kind of seal that game. That was the weakest team. So, but you have Tom Brady. You have Tom Brady, the greatest, right? At the time, in his position. Who's the greatest now? Mahomes. If they have to play really good defense and keep Purdy at bay, or I should say Christian McCaffrey, by the way, who should have been MVP of the NFL, and Patrick Mahomes, I think, can play elite or he can play conservative like he did in the AFC title game, and they win. The San Francisco 49ers have to control the ball, and they have to score touchdowns. But they also have to pressure Mahomes, because as soon as the Niners get into this, oh, we're going to score a bunch of points, and they do, like Philly did last year, then you're going to see Mahomes match it. And that's what happened last year. Philly played almost a perfect game last year, and they still lost. They just made one mistake, and that was the mistake that cost them.
Fair enough.
Same thing with the Niners. They have to play a perfect game. Otherwise, they're toast. The second you give a little opening to Patrick Mahomes, he's gonna scold you.
Okay. Again, I'm not gonna say I'm rooting for, but I do like the stories I've told you about Brock Purdy. Again, Mr. Irrelevant. I just think that it's a good story. But can he put 4 quarters together? That's something he hasn't done the entire playoffs, is put 4 quarters together, and I think he needs to do that on Sunday.
What I keep hearing things about Brock Purdy. This is the last pick of the draft. What do you want this guy to be?
That's gravy. It's just gravy for San Francisco.
Seriously, what do you want him to be? You want him to be Joe Montana? You want him to be Steve Young? That's stupid. The Niners, even if he makes mistakes, are not losing the Super Bowl because of Brock Purdy.
May the force be with you, cool bro. Have a good evening. Get some rest.
That's brutal, Jay. You'd rather watch The Last Jedi than the Lakers. That's funny.
That's bad, Kurt.
That's funny.
Yes, Jay, Kurt right now. Don't even get The Last Jedi involved. That movie was horrible. That wasted.
You know what I did like about the movie was I liked the Snow Walker, the red on the ground, and the new Snow Walkers. I thought that was the best part of the movie. I really dug that whole red ground thing. I thought that was cool.
Because there's like part in the middle in the Last Jedi where they go to a casino planet. That just made my toes curl. It was so bad. Yeah, someone who actually took cinema for a little while at USC. Yeah, this was just absolutely just out.
Rian Johnson. So what was Rian Johnson thinking at that time?
Not much, apparently, from what I see in that movie.
Yeah, Bloodhound. I don't know either. Honestly, I really don't know. I really don't know what the deal is with this Myles Garrett. They've been trying to pump this guy better than he really is. Every time he plays against the Steelers, I see nothing of any relevance when he plays against the Steelers. And he didn't even do anything the last 6 games of the regular season and the one playoff game. He didn't do anything. Just, I don't know. I don't get it. I just never got it. It was an absolute joke. TJ Watt should be a 2-time defensive player of the year. He's the best defensive player in the NFL by a mile. It's not even close. Ryan Johnson and Darvin Ham are the same person. Wow, Jay, that's a second one. That's, if I had that a bullhorn, I'd freaking do it. I'd put it on.
After a long day, Joe, don't worry about the F-bomb.
Sorry, it slipped out. I really didn't mean to say it, and I wasn't angry about it. Oh man, yeah.
You and I've been here a long time,
and I've had a good time. Some of it has been sad because of Kobe and all that.
Well, it's funny because one of our guests during our NBA coverage, the guy who covers Cleveland and Detroit, Mike Anguilano, who he is actually in our chat for a little while, he complimented us on our coverage, in an email after the show, and I'm like, man, I watched it and I still felt like we were at a funeral. All of us just like sad, moping throughout the entire. It was just struggling for us to just keep some type of interest in the crowd. I know we got almost 900 views on Facebook and another 500-600 for our coverage here. But still, Joe, I mean, it's hard. It's hard when you have so many people looking at expectations for the Lakers, the NBA trade deadline, and they just don't get it done.
Well, if we start off with the trade deadline show, nothing really happened that we didn't expect there. I didn't expect, and after that, the Kobe ceremony, I didn't expect to be as depressed as I was. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that I kept looking at former Laker players and how depressed they were, and it made me depressed. It was a sad day. It was worse than it was sadder than the jersey ceremony. It was, the Powell speech wasn't as bad. Like, none of it today was just bad. It was just not good. Everybody felt empty. It seemed that knew him. And how can you not feel the same way? And I think those who liked the show probably felt what we were feeling, and we were their voice. It's tough. I saw Sasha crying really hard too. That was a breaker. I can't get that out of my head because I hadn't seen Sasha in any of these ceremonies until today. It's just the first time I've seen Sasha at these events.
Does he live overseas or in the States?
I don't know. I actually don't know. I'm gonna guess he does live out of state, maybe in Italy. I don't know. But it was tough. It was tough, and Phil Jackson looked great. I know he got his cane, but I felt like he looked like he did 5, 6, 7 years ago. Maybe less hair, but
I heard you and Stone talking about whether or not he should get a statue. I agree. He does deserve a statue.
if there is a coach that deserved one, Phil Jackson. We said on the telecast, Jordan, Kobe, Shaq, Pippen. Those guys would have won championships, but I don't believe they would have.
Would you give one to Riley and Jackson?
Well, if you give one to Jackson, you got to give one to Riley.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. Come on, Intel. It's not about going soft. It's about it's about supporting the fam, supporting the culture of Laker basketball. That's really what it is. It's tough, man. Someone's gone. Someone as big as Kobe is tough. The guy died tragically at 40, and he had so much to give. The guy would have lived until he was in his 80s, probably, maybe 90s.
But Intel, Chick Hearn has a statue. He has a full statue and a desk.
I don't think it's going to happen. But if there was one coach that would have it in the NBA, does any pro football coach have a statue? Maybe. Yes, Vince Lombardi.
Okay, I was going to say Hallis, but
Hallis might have one. I don't know for sure, but for sure I know Vince Lombardi has one.
Yeah, you're great. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Oscar De La Hoya has a statue out there.
So Oscar De La Hoya,
I know what he meant to that community. I'm not going to
He made that arena relevant in terms of his sport. That's that I know of. Similar, Gretzky's statue was kind of puzzling to me when I heard about it, but there is a transcendent part of Gretzky. I would have liked to have had them win in '93 when they played the Montreal Canadiens. It would have been nice to have that as Gretzky came to LA and won a championship with the 4 cups he won in Edmonton, but unfortunately they couldn't do it. But he was instrumental in hockey becoming popular in America. He was the Tiger Woods of hockey at the time.
I would have liked to seen one with the Triple Crown line personally, because I loved the Triple Crown line when I was a kid, but their defense was just not good. So
Triple Crown?
Marcel Dion, Charlie Simmer.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I know I'm dating.
I know they have they got their jerseys up there, but I don't. Yeah. I was a little before my time.
They were an offensive machine. They just, like I said, they couldn't stop anyone. So it's so simple. But we'll say again, it is, of course, Lakers Nightcap with Joe Soro. It is Joe Soro right here along with me, Gerald Glassford. Appreciate it. What are you drinking tonight, my friend? Because I got the water. I had to go grab something at least to drink on a nightcap. A long, hard day, my friend.
I still had my Hennessy here
and nothing but good and nothing but bad news for the Lakers all day long. Although, again, if you did not want the Lakers to make a move along the fringes or make a move that would, marginally only improve the team, you won today. With us, it's just, we called it like we see it. We just thought that the Lakers were not or did not have enough in assets to really move to get a substantial player that could help this team win more. So I just didn't think they had enough.
Yeah, they didn't have enough, and there wasn't really a player out there that would warrant even a hint of change for what the team is structured at.
structure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not in the works today. It just wasn't in the works today, and I'm not really. I'm not upset. I'm not upset about that. I didn't feel anything because we've done our homework. We knew who was available. We knew how things would generally play out. We just didn't know what team and what exactly the assets would be in order to obtain these players. But all in all, we knew that this was. I'd say the only surprise I have is I'd say the two surprises I'm surprised that Murray and Bruce Brown weren't traded. I thought they would at least get traded, but maybe this summer.
Is that what you're having right now, JSJ, or for Super Bowl Sunday? Because that's what I'm doing, along with some other stuff. Just let us know what you're cooking up for Super Bowl Sunday. A lot of good stuff, I'm sure. So,
yeah, Super Bowl Sunday is changing for me at this point. I might be there just Saturday, and guess what? I'm going to be hanging out with Gerald, and I might have a few drinks with Gerald. How about that?
Sounds good, my
How
friend.
about that? I'm finally going to get to see Gerald face to face after what, 3 years?
Closing in on it.
And a lot of good news going on right now with that. Gerald, you'll be there to hear it once I'm finished with the work. So I'm excited, guys. I think 2024, despite the Lakers situation, is going to be a very good year. And the success of this side of things will only mean more success for what's here. We will be able to provide more, and entertainment will be better, and it's going to be exciting. I'm elated right now. I really am. It has been a full day. Let's just put it that way. It has been a full day. It's been a great day and a sad day and a bland day. The only thing left right now is to lay down, maybe watch a movie, and just pass out, and just thank God I'm alive at this point, and then hopefully I can wake up in the morning.
If you could wake up in the morning after what you did the other day, I think today would be okay.
Hey, look, alcohol, I don't know what happens to some of these people who say I can't drink like I used to. Well, see, I think the reason why alcohol doesn't affect me as much is I don't drink like that. My anger or my drinking, which usually those are the two things that happen, right? When you drink, you're more angry. A lot of people are like that. Or if you're angry, you drink because you want to calm down. See, I'm not angry throughout the day. I'm pretty calm, relaxed. Yes, I pop off, but that's due to a cause, and then that's the effect. I don't go around being angry. It's just not something that I do. And then I don't really drink. I'm a social drinker. So and when I'm drinking, I can control the drink. Now, I got tipsy the other night, but I knew I had to get off at that point. I knew.
Gerald, I think I'm effed up. But you said that several times.
Yeah. I knew it was time. I knew it hit the wall, and I don't regret it in any way because I knew it would be good TV, and it was. I was trying desperately not to slur due to the show. The show needs communication. But as soon as I couldn't control it, I was like, hey, man, maybe I need to cut this out. But I knew it would be funny, which that's the point here, man. We're here to entertain.
That we are, my friend, that we are. And hopefully we've entertained each and every one of you all day long. I was looking at the numbers. We did 1,800 on YouTube for the Kobe presentation. So I thought that was good. So.
Yeah, the spinning of the room always makes me laugh. I'm sitting there and I'm like, ooh. You just kind of like, whoa. Like it does feel like it's spinning, but it actually kind of feels cool. If I was cruel, I'd say, Joe, $200 for 5 shots right now, but I won't. Look, I'm not going to lie. The rum was a little easier to drink. I'm not going to shoot Hennessy. Hennessy tastes like poison when you shoot it. It's better when you sip it. But, these kind of things, the $200 that you threw down that day and all those things.
Thank you again.
Thank you again. It helps with the promotion and the building of the show. I think the exciting part is where our subscribers are going up and up every day. I think I've noticed 20 subscribers
Closing in on 1,400.
within the last few days, and this is the inevitable. This is the inevitability, and this is all organic. We have not spent a dime on fake subscribers, and we never will. We want it organically, even if it takes 5 years to do it. Now, Gerald doesn't want it to take 5 years, and I don't think it will. But again, it's got to be done the right way. We want to make sure this is legit. Now, the crazy thing is 1,400 subscribers. Someone said this to me. It made so much sense. I'm sitting there. I'm like, man, I really want to build this. I want to get our 10,000, 20,000 people, build this thing and really make it something big. They're like, Joe, you ever seen a room with 1,400 people? I was like, yeah, that's a good point. Imagine 1,400 people that have pressed subscribe without us paying them to do it. That's a pretty good number.
It is.
I can't do the teacups at Disneyland. I'm good on Space Mountain or whatever. Why not? You get your equilibrium gets all weird. Yeah, Gary, cognac. Yeah, it's just not. It's just it needs to be sipped. It needs to be sipped and with a nice cigar and things like that. Not shooting that stuff is bad. Like the one shot I took the other night was like, it just wasn't enjoyable.
How so?
Yeah.
Did it just hit you the wrong way?
No,
or?
it's just it doesn't. It's not a smooth drink to shoot. Oh my God, cool bro. No, please. No Clockwork Orange either. Stay away from Kubrick and Tarantino, please.
Until you're 18.
Yeah, at least wait till you're 18.
Darren says, watch some Alfred Hitchcock. Your mind will.
You know what? Alfred Hitchcock it would be fine.
My daughter was talking about Rear Window that she watched in her film class the other day. So, excellent film. Although North by Northwest is my all-time favorite from Alfred Hitchcock. It's a cool bro. Nope, I'm watching it. That's on you, cool bro. We do not endorse.
We have it on tape.
Condone.
We told you not to watch this, so we can't get blamed for bad influence.
Cool. Kurt says, "Cool bro, don't watch Force."
No, Sean, you got to do Jägermeister with the Jaeger bombs. That's you got to dilute it with beer. That's when it tastes good, or you can handle it. Too much sugar though. You can watch Spartacus. Doesn't want to. Oh man, The Rope is great. Don't watch Forrest Gump. I don't see Marcus Morris. It's a realistic buyout option. What? He's still playing? I prefer Psycho. Yeah, Psycho's good.
All right, my friend.
We're talking movies, football, and basketball. What else you guys got for us?
Yeah, we already talked about hey guys out there, who are your picks for the Super Bowl? We talked about our picks. I'm leaning towards the San Francisco 49ers. He's leaning towards the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, I think I'm going to go 49ers. Just because I'm not going to be surprised if Kansas City wins. It's not like a surefire lock for me, but I'm going to go 49ers. Bloodhound, she's got Chiefs. Yeah, I respect anybody out there who said the Chiefs. I can see why.
If the 49ers win, there's going to be a whole
PMC with the Niners.
Yeah, the whole 49er fan boys that I know are going to be just elated. And
like Laker Tom.
Yeah, it's going to be a relief and they'll tie the Steelers for most Super Bowls too. That's a big thing too. They'll tie the Steelers and the Patriots for 6 with the most Super Bowls in NFL history. So that's it, Joe. Gerald, nice show. I have to take a nap now because we have to watch film tomorrow. Yeah, sure, Darvin. Hey, keep your head up, buddy. Keep your head up. That big round head of yours.
Make sure you build a good game plan for tomorrow and don't get off to a bad start. Make sure you could help this team get off to a good start tomorrow instead of fighting your way and clawing your way, try to get back into it and just running out of gas at the end.
Don't run out of gas. Fill up before you go. What was the? It was a slip until
Instead of 3 o'clock, I said 3 of, and then there's
3 o'clock.
I didn't say it like that.
Why did I want to say it?
But yes, somebody was doing a rib on me. They paid me $2. I instantly blocked them.
Why?
Yes,
Why'd you block them?
because insult me. There you go.
Come on, man. You really blocked them?
I did.
Ah, that's weak.
Sorry.
That is weak. Come on, man. You got to let the crowd, bust your chops a little bit.
When you go and make a moniker from that and want to go ahead and pay chat,
Dude, that's an iconic. That's iconic now. Somebody actually was paying attention.
It's not to me.
Oh, come on.
I don't like it.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Terrible. Yeah, there you go, Sean. There you go.
Dan Brown, I've read them all already. Joe, I will find a movie worse than Clockwork Orange coming with more movie tomorrow. I'm not telling you any more movies. You keep picking bad ones.
Juan says, hey, you remember me, Joe? This is your channel, huh?
Yeah, I remember Juan. What should I remember, though? Hey, remember me, Joe? This is your channel. Haha.
Okay.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
That was me, Joe.
I remember, we have been here since 10 o'clock this morning, pretty much the entire day. Cut us some slack here, guys. Cut us some slack.
I'm not gonna give you a whiskey because we're not. Oh yeah, now I remember. Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen really, because Chicago still has a chance to play in the playoffs. So I never understood the whole between Chicago and Cleveland. Just never really understood what the point of those trades were. Those guys are all competing for a spot, or Cleveland's a second seed in the East. So I don't know.
Yes. As of right now, yes.
Yeah. What a lackluster trade deadline. Joe, you think Steelers should try to trade for Fields? I did think about that, Bloodhound. I did think about that. The problem is, I don't know if Arthur Smith can coach him. If he can't coach Ritter, I don't know if he's going to be able to coach Fields. And I don't know if Fields is the guy. I don't know if he's a franchise quarterback. He's extremely. Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I don't know at this point. The Steelers might be better off picking a quarterback in the draft and hoping that they turn into something good. Kirk Cousins has been thrown around, but I'm not seeing how that would work. Plus, Kirk Cousins is the James Harden of football. The second he gets into any kind of big game, he seems to just squander it. So I don't know if that's something that would work in Pittsburgh. Pressure's a little bit harsher in Pittsburgh than Minnesota. Russell Wilson's done. Russell Wilson can start in the NFL, but as far as who he was, he's done.
He was at the Kobe statue unveiling today.
Yeah, good guy. Took a lot of crap from ex-players, and I just think he has the personality that doesn't. You ever had one of those friends that no matter what happened, he always kind of just was cerebral and just quiet.
His numbers weren't bad, Joe.
No, they weren't bad. They weren't bad at all.
They remind me of the year before Aaron Rodgers won the MVP.
Numbers were fine. The problem is are you going to pay him $40 to $50 million?
That's
a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's really ultimately what the problem is. And I'm sorry, he's not that player. It's not going to lead you to a Super Bowl when he's taken 1/3 of the salary cap. There's very few quarterbacks that can actually make that work. But it's much easier to. First of all, I believe the Steelers are going to give Kenny Pickett another year. and they may keep Rudolph to back up Kenny unless he decides he wants to go play somewhere else. Ideally, that's probably what's likely to happen. And then you can draft a quarterback maybe in the third or fourth round to play as the emergency quarterback, or if he happens to be a star, it is what it is. That's going to be interesting, Super Bowl and Nickelodeon. But right now, it's looking like I don't know what's going to happen for the Super Bowl. I was supposed to go to a party on Sunday. I might still be able to go there because as of right now, I'd be in Vegas Saturday, but leave after that. But if things go a certain way, then maybe there's an invite. I don't know. That's Bloodhound. That's true. He might be an option. I just don't know how good he is, but he could be good. He could be good. That's the great thing about the NFL, man. You can find gems anywhere. You can find gems. My wish was that the Steelers would part with Mike Tomlin, though. I think Mike Tomlin would need. I think Mike Tomlin and the Steelers needed a new voice, but the Steelers don't seem to think that's what they need. I wanted Ben Johnson out of Detroit. I thought Ben Johnson with a quarter, someone with his offensive prowess, being able to regenerate Goff's career, would have been a perfect new voice to the Steelers. And we have essentially kind of like a McVay type guy that could come in and really construct the team the way that I think they need to be constructed for them to be successful. The Steelers haven't won a playoff game in a very, very long time. They've lost the last 6. And that's not good. We didn't lose 6 in a row, even in the 80s when they had that dry spell. So winning Super Bowls is the measure. Just like the Lakers, folks, we get greedy. Just like the Steeler fans, we're greedy. Dodger fans are not as greedy, I feel, because we haven't won enough when we should have. Yeah, Jake, that would be interesting. That would be very interesting. I think it'd be fitting. Somebody said something online the other day.
It's pretty good odds right now.
Somebody said something the other day that he predicted that the Chiefs would win 27-14.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis Kelce would be in the middle of the field with his woman and then get on one knee.
I've heard that like from 15,000, people also as well saying that he's going to propose. So
no, there's never been a tight end MVP. There's only been one player that's won the MVP on a losing team, and that was Chuck Howley. Super Bowl 4, Baltimore beat the Dallas Cowboys 16-13 on a last-second field goal. There's been a few receivers, obviously quarterbacks, a few defensive players, no offensive linemen, no kickers. Kick returner, Desmond Howard, won Super Bowl MVP in Super Bowl 31. Packers beat the Patriots. He had 2 kickoff returns in that game. Don't ask me how I remember this crap. It just stays there. Hey, Joe and Gerald, call me crazy, but I still believe this team to make some noise in the playoffs, and I believe Rob Pelinka going to be aggressive in the buyout market. Juan, I really enjoy. I'm happy about your enthusiasm and your
as am I.
However, it's just not meant to be. It's just this team doesn't have enough talent. The coaching isn't good enough, and LeBron is just not young enough for this to be what that is. If LeBron 2020 was on this team, there might be a shot. But unfortunately, he's not there. I think LeBron is starting to mentally he's starting to go down, and that's the beginning of the end. I'm just hoping that Rob Pelinka can somehow see that this summer and let LeBron know that they're going to be going into one more year with him, and then it's done, no matter what. And if that's a problem, if he thinks that LeBron might want to go somewhere else and someone would want to trade, for him, then I would honor it this summer. But the LeBron AD era is about to be done. And if they go with LeBron and AD next year, we're likely going to see a slight improvement because I think they will add some players that could be effective, but it still won't be enough. It still won't be enough. It's just not in the cards anymore. They had their shot. In my opinion, they had their shot in that 2020, 2022 window. 2021, in a lot of ways, wasn't their fault. It was essentially it was the bubbles tax. They just came back too quick, and the bodies didn't recover. 2022 was stymied by the Westbrook trade.
Just looking at Mark Madsen's selfies that he took during the Kobe ceremony, and seeing from Meta World Peace to Magic Johnson to Pau Gasol, Robert Horry, all the famous faces that he took pictures with today. Just like you said, it was somber time. The celebration of life for Kobe, but also as well the sadness of his passing. But on this momentous day for the Lakers in regards to Kobe, but a not so momentous day for a loss against Denver, and also as well the NBA trade deadline or lack thereof. Any last thoughts, my friend, before we head on out?
On a question that Sean had, Sean, I am hoping that the Steelers are able to get Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon. Zach Frazier he's the second-rated guy. The Steelers desperately need a center, and I would not hesitate to pick one of those two in the first round. But I would really want Powers. Oh, that's another. If he stays healthy, that's another legendary center for the next 10 years. And the Steelers have had a few of them, man. We've had Mike Webster, we have Damani Dawson, we've had Pouncey and Marcus Pouncey, and that's the guy I'm looking for, the kid out of Oregon. They can get him. That's a good way to start the draft, and then I don't know if they'd go quarterback 2 and 3 in the second round or third round, but we're gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna have to wait and see how it plays out. LeBron is like the Gordie Howe. He'll play until he's 50 and punching guys. I think playing hockey is as rough of a sport as it is. I still think it's a little easier on the body because you are floating on skates, whereas feet hitting the hard floor is taxing. It's really taxing on the ligaments and things like that. But LeBron made the Lakers relevant. I'm hard on LeBron. I'm supportive of LeBron. LeBron is very similar to the team's personality. It's a very bipolar personality, very bipolar team. Their play is very bipolar. They'll show glimpses of amazing plays on offense and then completely butcher that 2 or 3 points they got by just coming up lame on the defensive end, literally the next series. So that's just what the team is. It's the bipolars, the LA bipolars. And with that, folks, it's been a long day.
Very long.
It's been a trade deadline day. It's been a Kobe night, Kobe evening. It's been an NFL awards evening. It's been a Super Bowl evening. But I wouldn't have changed anything today. I want to thank everyone for being with us. I know a lot of you were here on almost every show. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. Thank you for all the newbies that have come here in the last few days. We've had like 20 subscribers, and we can't tell you enough how appreciative we are of you liking what we're doing. And I know there's a few out there that do look at us as Debbie Downers, and I'm sorry that it comes out like that. It's just it's part of us being able to be real with everything. If the Lakers go on a 10-game winning streak, you'll see the same exact energy going to it in a positive way. But we'd have to see that first. And with that, Gerald, thank you for starting the show ahead of time for me. And We're going to be back tomorrow for the New Orleans. I still want to call them the New Orleans Hornets for some reason. The New Orleans Pelicans game. I did hope for a split in these two games. I just wished it was Denver first. But let's see if the Lakers can muster up enough energy here to split these two games, get back on the winning track, and see how they can finish off here the next month and a half with them not having to leave the Pacific time zone except for maybe once, which is the mountain 1 hour ahead of them in Utah. And with that, everyone have a great night. Sleep well. God bless. And until next time, we'll see you next time.